So, good day, everyone. Um, Welcome to my channel. If you are here for the first time, uh, my name is Osaba Samson, and I'm the Africa Cloud Papa. So, you're welcome to my channel. So, so if you can hear me, kindly indicate so that I can continue. Just type you can hear me so that I can continue. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Vibes, you're welcome. You're welcome. So, first of all, I would like to apologize for our class not holding yesterday. Um, our team had an emergency, unavoidable emergency that's why we couldn't hold the class yesterday. So, so we are sorry for that, and we will do our best to make sure that this class is worth it. So, without any further ado, without wasting our time, let's go into what we have for today. So today we'll be looking at how to deploy a website on AWS. Okay, so let me switch my screen so that you can see my screen. Let me share my screen. So if you can see my screen, indicate by typing that you can see my screen. So let's continue. So, so the first thing we will do is to log into AWS. So I'm already logged into AWS, but you can sign up with AWS. Okay, so you can sign up with AWS. So let me open. So you can create account with AWS here. So just click create account. So you will get here. So so here is to sign in. So you can click on here, create new account. So you can follow the procedure to create your account. So after creating account on AWS, so AWS gives us some free tier that we can use to test out things on AWS. So so let's look out for AWS free tier. So, so these are services. So these are services you get for free in AWS when you sign up with AWS. So these services are for 1 year. So you can see here Amazon EC2, S3, RDS. So these are services you can get on AWS for free for the first 1 year. So today we'll be using EC2 to deploy our application. So let's go back. So once you have created your account and log in, this is the first page you see. So these are the services I've visited so far, right? So, but if you are logged in and you can't see any of this, so what you do, because we'll be using a EC2 instance to deploy our application today. So you just come here and type EC2. So it will just bring out the EC2 link here. So you just click on EC2. So, so this is the interface you will see. So we'll click on instances. So here is where you, this is where you see list of instances or virtual machines you have created. So, but I have not created anyone here, so which we will do shortly. So, but if you are here and you have not, you don't understand what a virtual machine is, I will advise that after this class, you go back to our virtual machine class and look at it so that you get to have a deeper understanding of what a virtual machine is. So, because what we are going to do now is to create a virtual machine, which will now deploy our application on it. So now let's, so I'll click on launch instances. So once I click on launch instances, so here I'll type the name I want to, I want the instance to bear. Let's say website. So this can be anything. So you can use any name there. So the second part is selecting the operating system. So you can see different operating system here. We have Amazon Linux, Mac, and all of that. But what we'll be using is what we'll use is Ubuntu. So I'll select Ubuntu. So once I select Ubuntu, it it will display a list of different versions of Ubuntu operating system. So let's use um, 20. So here you can see I have free tier eligible. So this means that this is under the free tier services that AWS render. So I'll select it. So let's use that. So the next, so now, so when we looked at virtual machines, I talked about what a system should possess. So now here we say that a system should have CPU and it should have RAM and storage. So these are the three things that every system should have. It is a must that every system should have these three things. And we are creating a virtual computer, a virtual machine. So now, so once I select the operating system, so the next thing we will see is the instance type. So this instance type, we have different instance type. There are different virtual machines you can create. So we have the T2 micro. So T2 micro, you can see that it has only one CPU and 1 GB of memory. That's 1 GB of RAM. So so we have this T2 small, one CPU, 2 GB of RAM, and so many others. So, but we'll be using the free tier, which is T2 micro. So what we have in our system is one CPU and 1 GB of RAM. So that's what we'll be using for this class. Then the next thing is selecting the key pair. So key pair is is the key that will allow you to connect to the virtual machine from your local system. So if you have an already existing one, you can select it here. So, so but I'll be creating a new one for this class. So if you want to create a new one, click on create new key pair. So I will type the name um, website. So the next one is, so select RSA, then you select PEM if you are using terminal, or if you are using in Windows, if you are using a Git bash, you use PEM. But if you are using PuTTY, you use PPK. So, but I'll be using terminal, so I will select PEM. So let me click on it. So I can click on create key pair. Sorry, let me see. So now, so the next thing is the security, that security group. So here we'll leave it like this for now. So this security group, under the security group we have ports. So port is just like when you build a house, the house will have different doors. So ports are just like doors through which you enter into a house or into a building, right? So now, but here we have security group. So here is where you determine how many people, whether you are, here is where you determine the people that can visit your site or that can log into your instances. So this is where you determine that. So you can see here, we have allow SSH traffic from. So this SSH is, so we talked about SSH earlier. So this SSH is what you use to connect to your instance. So now you can see here, I have allow from anywhere. So this means that anybody can SSH into the system, provided they have the key that we just created now, provided they have this key pair that we just created now, they can log into your system. So now we are just going to leave it like that. We'll still modify it later in such a way that it is only my system. If I want only my system to be able to um, SSH into this instance, then we'll modify it so that it will behave that way. So the next one is the size of the storage. So the size of the storage is 8 GB, right? 8 GB. So now T2, so the free services that AWS give out for T2 micro, it only gives out 30 GB of storage. So you can only have 2 instances of T2 micro under the free tier. So once you have three, it will start charging you for the extra storage. So that's why. So you just need to be careful so that you don't get debited. So that's that. So that's the configuration. Then after that, you can click on launch instance. So click on launch instance. So we have launched the instance. So if I want to view the instances, I'll scroll down and click on view all instance. So you can see this is the instance. So it's still pending. It's coming up. So it's running now. So now if I click on it, so you can see different information on the instance. So we have the instance ID, we have the public address, we have the private address. So this public address is the address to locate this instance. For example, if you build a house, of course, your house needs an address for someone to be able to locate the house. So the same way, so as I've created this instance of virtual machine, I need an address to be able to locate this instance, and that is what will be. So, and that is this public IP address. So the same thing with private IP address. So every instance has public and private IP address. So and so many other information. So other ones are beyond the scope of this class. So we'll be focusing on using the IP address and also the security part. So, but for now, let's continue with the IP address. So the next thing I'm going to do is to connect to this uh, instance. So to do that, I will copy this IP address, copy this IP address. So now I'll come to my terminal. So my PEM key downloaded to the downloads folder. So let me look for it. So in my terminal, I'll I'll cd into the download folder. So now, so if you don't understand some of these commands that I'm typing, you can check out our Linux class. So when you look at it, you get a deeper understanding of the get a deeper understanding of all the commands that I'll be using in this class. So I'll cd into the downloads folder. So let me type ls website. So this is the key that I downloaded. This is the key pair that I downloaded from AWS. So that's that. So now um, to SSH into the instance, I'll say SSH hyphen I. So this hyphen I is to show the location of the key. So I'll now type uh, website.pem. So the next thing is the username. So if we are using Ubuntu, then the username is Ubuntu. But if you are using EC2, if you are using Amazon Linux as your operating system, the username is EC2, and so on and so forth. So we are using Ubuntu, so we use Ubuntu. Then at the IP address, so you can see the IP address. So at the IP address that I just copied from here, that's the public IP address that I just copied from here. So once I do that, so you can see here, I have Mac at Mac. So that this is my local system. So let me press enter. It will ask you whether, are you sure you want to connect to the virtual machine? Type here. So it's giving me a warning that my key is not private. So in order to change it to private, we change the mode. So we say change mode 400, then website.pem. So now I have changed the mode, then press. So I'll still type the same thing and press enter. Okay. So now I am logged into the instance. I'm logged into the instance. So now, so you can see here Ubuntu at this. So this is the private IP address of that particular system, of that virtual machine. So let me clear my screen. So I'm logged into the system now. So the first thing I need to do is to update the operating system. So in order to do that, I'll use sudo apt update. So you can see that the operating system is updating. Okay, the update has completed. Clear. So let me clear my screen. So the next thing is to install an application called nginx. Right. So nginx is what helps serve your pages to the users. So that's an application that helps serve your pages to the user. But before then, let me let's go to twoplates.com. Twoplates.com. Okay. Okay, let's go to twoplates.com. So here you can get free websites. So let's just look for any free website here. So let's just use this one. So so let's go to this. So later I will include the URL of this website that I'm going to use now. So maybe you can use it on your system on when you are practicalizing. Let's do that again. I don't know why it's not really showing me. Let me check on Firefox. Okay. So there's the so I'll copy this URL. So later I will include this URL on the description so that if you want to use it for your practical, you can do that. So let's click here and download it. So I have downloaded it. So let's open it. So now here, so this is it. So let me open it. So once I open it, so let's open index.html. So you can see the website here. So this is on my local system. This is on my local system. So you can see the website on my local system. But I have not actually uploaded it on the server. But you know the server does not have where you can does not have a GUI where you can open these folders and files, right? So in order to be able to save this website for people to see it, we need to use a package called nginx, and that we'll be using. So the next thing is to install nginx. So to install nginx, I will do sudo apt install nginx. So I'll get a prompt whether I want to install it. I'll type y, which is yes. Press enter. So nginx is installed now. So now let's go back to AWS. So now if I go back to AWS and I copy this URL and paste it here, so you can see. So you can see that it is not working. And that's because I have not opened the port for people to access this virtual machine or this instance. So in order to do that, in order to allow people to access this virtual machine or instance, I'll go back. So I will need to open the port. So in order to open the port, I'll select this instance, select security. Then you can see here security group. So I'll click on security group. Then click on edit inbound rules. So you can see the SSH we added earlier here. So we can add another rule here. Yeah, type. So I'll search for HTTP. So HTTP, you can see here it's port 80. So we can say allow from anywhere, right? But if you want to use SSL, so SSL key, so you can see here. So this is what we call the SSL key. So if you are using this key, then you can select HTTPS. So that is for security. HTTPS. So HTTPS is 443. So I'll select from anywhere and click on Save Rules. So once I click on Save Rules, I'll come here and refresh. So you can see that it is working now. So that's that for Nginx. So now in order to host our website, right? In order to host our website for people to see, we go back to the terminal. So let me clear my screen. So once I clear my screen, so the next thing is, so let's say ls/var. So we want to locate, you know that this is a file that is displaying this welcome to Nginx. So we want to see the location of this file. So the location of this file is /var/www/html. So this is the location of this file. we want to list everything in that particular folder, HTML folder. So once I press enter, so you can see this is the file that is displaying this particular content. So I will go back. So let's delete this file. So we have sudo rm var www html index. So once I press enter now, the file is deleted. So let's go back and refresh that page. I refresh the page, so you can see 403 forbidden. So now let's deploy our website so that people can view it. So now, so the first thing is to download the file. Download the file. So there is a package that you can use to download a file in Ubuntu or in Linux generally. So and that package is called wget. So once I type wget and paste the URL, press enter. So the zipped file is now downloaded. So if I type ls, so this is the file. So this is the zip file that contains all those files. So let me clear my screen. So now let's unzip it. So in order to unzip it, I need to install another application called unzip. So I have sudo npm, sudo apt install unzip -y. So -y. So if I don't want that prompt, when we installed nginx, that was a prompt that showed if we want to continue or not. So if I don't want that prompt, I'll just type -y and press enter. So it has completed. So now I can now unzip that file. So I will say unzip. You sudo unzip. Let's see. Ls. Okay. Unzip. Sudo unzip. Um, why is it still not working? Let me see. unzip um 213. This is not checking. Let me check. Let's hyphen 213. Okay, that is not right. Okay, this is not a zip file. So let me see. I didn't actually download the zip file. So let's check again. W get dot zip. Could not find file. Let me see what could be the issue. Mm. So let me see what could be the issue. It did not download the zip file. Oh, supposed to download. Okay, so let me copy it. So this is the zip file. Okay, so we have RM. So let's delete the one that we already have. And let's delete the one we already have. Sudo rm 213. Okay, so we don't have anything now. So let's download this one. So it has downloaded. So this is the zip file. So the other one was not a zip file. That's why it didn't work. So we can do now. We can do unzip. Uh, so it has unzipped. So if I do ls now, so you can see I have two files. So this one is the zip file, while this one is the unzipped folder. So let's look at what is inside the unzipped folder. So you can see all the files that we saw that time on my local system. So now what we'll do is to move this file to the location of that nginx index file. So to do that, we say sudo move mv star multiply. So so this so you can see this mv is move. Sudo is to escalate the privilege. So mv is to move. So this is the folder. That's this folder. This folder slash star. Star means every file, all the files inside this folder. So I want to move it. So the next thing is the location of where I want to move it to. So this is the location of where I want to move it to. So once I press enter now, so it has moved it to that particular location. Let's check and confirm it's there. So you can see that it's there now. So let's go and refresh that page again. So there's it. So there's it. So if I refresh this page, so you can see that our site is working. So I'll paste it on the comment section so that you can check it out on your system to see if it's working on your system. Uh, oh, sorry about that. So this is the IP address. I'll paste it. So check it out on the system to see if it is working. And if it is working, just type on the comment section that it's working. So if you have any question, you can drop it on the comment on the live chat. Also, if you have any question, you can ask, can drop it on the comment so that I can tackle them. So in our next class, because I don't want this class to take too long, so in our next class, we'll be talking about getting a domain name and using it, because basically if you host a website, um, you will not be sending people this IP address. Um, so you send them a domain name. So in our next class, we'll be talking about how to how to use a domain name instead of using IP address. So Adeto said it's working on its system. So that's a wrap for today. So if you have any question, drop it. I'll just give a few minutes for that, because I don't want this class to be long. So just drop it on the comments section so that I'll tackle them immediately. Okay. So, I'll drop the so I'll be dropping the URL of the website that I used on the comment section. So I've already dropped that. So if you need it, you can find it in the comment section. So, and that's where we'll stop today. So we hope that this class is worthwhile, and I and my team are happy that you joined our class today. So we'll see you next week. So thanks for coming. So see you next week. Bye, everyone, and have a great weekend ahead. Have a great weekend ahead. Thank you.